Welcome to Addictive Entertainment, where we deliver the best entertainment daily. People who grew up poor, what did you used to think was normal? For my school's Spirit Week, they had a thrift shop day, where most everyone dressed in old ratty clothes, or the weirdest stuff they could find in a thrift shop. Needless to say, as someone whose clothes were 80% second-hand, it was an eye-opener, a bit shitty of the school to have a day like that. You know what's shitty for school to have? Secret Santa with $20 limit. I myself never received a $20 value gift at Christmas when I was a kid from my parents, so imagine me asking my parents for a $20 gift for a stranger. So they gave me a used cassette tape called Country Christmas for my Secret Santa. The cassette tape was free, they were handing them out at a store. Needless to say, she was very unhappy and in tears. The next day the girl broke the tape in my face and threw it on the floor. I felt like shit, but had to be a man and just laugh at her and pretend I ruined her Christmas on purpose and that it was all a prank. God, I hate Secret Santa. I was totally shocked when I learned that some people go out to eat more than once a year. Also, when I learned there are people who don't skip meals, I was shocked to find out people eat out on a regular day, like not anyone's birthday or any other celebration. I remember being so happy when my mom rewarded me with fast food fried chicken meal for school achievements in elementary school. When I was in undergraduate, my sister told me my mom would skimp on their meals just to buy me those. Everyone in the house going into the kitchen to see what groceries were brought home and being so excited as if it was Christmas. Also, now that my family is doing a lot better than when I was growing up, we find ourselves hoarding food, stocking up on canned goods, buying things in bulk on sale, as if we are waiting for those rainy days to hit again. Does anyone else experience this? That was me, but I was just fat. As a kid, I didn't know there were multiple settings on a water heater. I assumed everybody had to wait an hour or so after somebody uses the shower to get some hot water going. I am embarrassed to admit that I recently found out about continuous flow of hot water 5 years ago. I was 25. I spent the weekend at my then future in-laws' house. The conversation went something like this: "Fiancé, I'm going to shower before dinner." Me, "But your brother just got out 5 minutes ago." Fiancé explains how they never run out of hot water. My mind was blown. In my house, showering was a well-planned event for exactly this reason. Going on vacation to the local hotel in our hometown. We got to play in the pool and order delivery pizza, a rare treat, and we always had a blast. I loved these vacations. They were the highlight of my childhood in many ways. Pepperoni pizza and bottle Coke never tasted so good as when you had been swimming for 4 hours straight. The combo of pizza and hotel and pool chlorine smell brings me back. I didn't have a rough childhood by any means, but what you describe is so familiar. Never traveling out of the country or state. Kids always talked about where they traveled, like during breaks, summer vacation for example. I think it was a grade 6 project in September and we had to draw maps to geographic locations where we went that summer. My map was just of the town and going to the grocery store and church and stuff. Hopefully it made my teacher rethink that project for the future. I know how that goes. Definitely feels shitty. For us, it was an essay about where we went over the summer and they were posted on a board in the hall. I just never turned one in. I never considered talking to the teacher, and just kept making excuses why I never turned one in. I never saw my parents because they worked so much. When I was in elementary school, we lived in an apartment above the bar they owned. My time with them was spent working in the kitchen, doing homework at the bar, and then walking upstairs to put myself to bed. We eventually moved and I was always alone. From Wednesday morning through Saturday, I would wake and walk to school, come home, make dinner, do homework, and go to bed with no contact from an adult. This continued throughout secondary school, from 6th through 12th grade. I was so incredibly lonely, but it was normal for me. I can't imagine how my world would have been different if they didn't need to work so much to scrape by. Skipping lunch/dinner periodically so one of us could have all 3 meals. Like, Tuesdays and Thursday and Sunday I didn't eat dinner but my mom and little brother did, and every other day my mom didn't eat lunch or dinner so me and my brother could. I only started skipping meals for my mom because she was getting physically sick from not eating. My mom having to buy a new 3,000 car every couple of years because our previous one broke down and we don't have enough to repair it, coming home to see the water/electricity were off. Having to buy jugs of water at the dollar store so we could flush the toilet. Leaving a giant hole in the entryway where water had leaked through because we just couldn't afford to repair it. Not having heat/AC, having to bath with water from jugs and waking up and realizing our washing machine had broken down again so I'd rub my dirty clothes with washing detergent to try and mask the stale scent clothing gets when it hasn't been washed. To this day, people making comments about something smelling weird, even if not directed at me, makes me have major anxiety attacks. Only having one pair of super cheap shoes that we'd have to wear until they fell apart. The amount of times I tripped over the soles of my own shoes in my HS hallways was ridiculous. I thought I grew up poor until I read this. Holy fucking shit. Having sleep for dinner. When we were very young, my sister and I didn't know you could take toys home from Walmart. My parents would let us play in the toy aisle for a little while, and when it was time to go, we put everything back and went home. We never asked for the toys or threw a fit because as far as we knew, the toys permanently stayed at the store for kids to play with while they were there. Using laundry detergent, dish soap, bar soap, or whatever kind of soap you scrape together to wash your hair. Picking fruit from the trees and bushes next to the sidewalk and canning it. Bringing home blown mushrooms from the Safeway dumpster and drying them under the wood stove to use in soups. Mom getting your Christmas gifts secondhand from the flea market. Getting your school clothes secondhand from the flea market. Powdered milk. Lots of pots of soup, all year round. Saving wrapping paper and bows from birthday parties we went to so that we'd have something to wrap our gifts in. Mom sleeping in the living room so me and my brother could have our own rooms. Bringing peanut butter on bread and sliced carrots or celery to school for lunch. Every day. Collecting aluminum cans from people's recycling bins to cash in to have the $2 to go to the school dance. Freshman year at college made me really realize a lot of things when I suddenly had 6 middle-class roommates. Disconnecting your stove/oven and not heating things in the microwave for more than a minute to save on electricity bills isn't normal. Neither is having to beg your mom to beg your dad to turn on the heating at night, only to have them give you their own blankets measuring out a certain amount of dish soap to mix with water to use per month. Parents having always already eaten while I wasn't there to see, they hadn't. People go on vacations? And stay overnight places? Taking home any leftover fruits and veggie cups I could find from school for my mom. I had to fight the instinct to take home leftovers from events at first. I was like, wait, I don't even like onions, now who's going to eat it now? Not me. When a friend in college and I who also grew up poor first bought a Little Caesars together for ourselves, we both had to stop eating because we'd forgotten to breathe since neither of us were used to there being more than enough slices and we were trying to hurry. It's honestly wild realizing how differently my roommates had grown up. A few months into my first semester I'd decided to splurge on a big jar of salsa and dropped it after I paid for it and sobbed in the parking lot. I later told them I was just stressed, but at the time I was trying to make $40 last indefinitely. Also, nothing is more mind-boggling than seeing a walk-in pantry or closet, or a second garage fridge for the first time. Oh man, I've also just remembered, people will eat salad at buffets. My parents always had us eat meat and as much food as we could since it was so rare to eat out. They wanted us to get every last dollar out of it. Side note, the smell of powdered milk, or the texture of a cheap white bread and fake square cheese with mayo and chewy ham sandwich are things I can mentally taste. Shudders.